So 15,000 children have been murdered, killed, in your view.
According to Hamas.
And counting.
Where did you get the figures from?
Everyone knows the figures.
No, nobody knows the
No,
figures. Where did you get them from?
There's been research done by organisations such as Save the Children, organisations based here in the UK that have
Where
validated
did you,
these
and you
facts.
saw them from Save the Children. So you're telling
I've
me
seen them
on
in-
the programme today, Save the Children have said that there are definitely 15,000
15,000
who've been killed.
and counting. Yeah.
Well, in a war, yeah, it's terribly sad, and I'm really upset about the whole thing. I'm upset about wars. I'm upset about nastiness, as you probably heard. I'm terminally ill. I have maybe 6 months left to live or something like that. Don't feel sorry for me, because I don't. But the fact is that there is so much nastiness going on, running around the streets of London demanding to stop everybody doing what they're doing and so on. But you're not talking about the Yemen and the tragedies that are going on there. Blocks of flats in Ukraine and some in Russia that are being destroyed as we speak, but it's only this one. So my question to you is, are you totally anti-Semitic? Are you totally anti-Israel? You want the state of Israel, which is what Hamas want, completely eradicated?
Calling us anti-Semitic is a completely baseless claim, and
But I'm asking you the question. I'm not
Nobody
calling
made a
you.
point before that you're
we
not
are,
doing any other.
We are not anti-Semitic. What
Right.
we are doing is we see that our government is complicit in genocide. Our government,
Sorry, it's not
let me finish.
complicit
Our
in
government, by
genocide.
allowing the sale of arms to Israel, is enabling this genocide. Is enabling
Well, it's
children to be
15,000
murdered.
of 2 million genocide.
15,000
Simple
children.
math, isn't it?
15,000 children.
But you know what
predominantly
genocide
civilians
means?
targeted is not a war. That's a
Can
genocide.
we just clear this
Sorry,
up?
sorry.
What, in your view, is genocide?
The systematic eradication of a people, and that is what is
We're
happening.
not going to do that
It's
with
not.
15,000,
Yes,
are
If
we?
it
it,
is.
if it had been, it would be finished by now. If the Israeli army had decided they were just going to kill everybody, it
Like
wouldn't have
Hamas did
taken
on
out.
October 7th, that's what's
They
genocide.
went into that village and killed
when you
every
just kill
single
everyone
person.
in sight, that's genocide.
Israel is killing everyone. They're doing it slowly.
No,
they
they're
have,
not.
They have penned people into Gaza. People can no longer leave. Civilians
Why don't
cannot.
Egypt let them in
Civilians
to
cannot
Egypt?
evacuate
Or let them in
Gaza.
the tunnels? Why don't Hamas let them in
Israel
the
is
tunnels?
bombing refugee sites. Israel has designated safe spaces. We saw earlier this week. They bombed them.
Yeah, and
People-
Hamas fuel went off.
But
and
you see,
killed
this
40
emotive. Hang
people,
on,
didn't
I
it?
would like to talk to
Yeah,
people
some shrapnel
like
hit a
just a
weapons
minute.
dump.
Just a minute. I'd like to talk to people like you in a sensible, serious manner. But you seem unable to do it. You seem, as soon as I say, well, this is not genocide. Genocide is what you described, but that is not what is going on. There is genocide in this world in other places that we're not reporting on and we're not talking
What about
about.
Yemen? I mean, we helped Saudi Arabia with Yemen. What about in Syria? What about that is genocide? 1 million
I
people
agree
have
that
died.
we
What about
should-
the Uyghur Muslims? Why? There's no protests for that. It's only for Israel, and that's why
We
James makes
should
the point that it
talking
must be
about the other
anti-Semitic.
genocides, absolutely.
Because
But
that's
the fact
only.
is that our government is not arming these genocides. Our government
Yes,
is
it is.
arming
In Saudi
Israel.
Arabia, of course
but
it
our
is.
government is arming Israel right now. We are seeing videos of babies with their
we're
bombs
selling
blown.
planes to Saudi Arabia, selling nuts and bolts to Israel.
What
They
we are
don't even
seeing-
need them.
I'm interested. Let me ask you, what is the date next Thursday representing? What is the day next Thursday representing?
How do you mean?
Well, what date? There's a special day next Thursday. What is it remembering?
What's the day next Thursday?
Thursday's the day next Thursday.
The date.
The date? Is it the 4th of July? I
Is it
think
the
it's the
6th?
4th of
It's the
July.
6th
I'm not
of
sure.
June.
June, I beg your
6th of
pardon. We're in
June.
June, aren't we? I'm racing ahead to the election. But do you know what it is?
The election.
No. It is D-Day. 80 years since D-Day happened.
Okay.
And somebody of your age should know that. Somebody of your situation should know that. And should be able to compare what happened during the time of the Nazis and what the amount of innocent people killed continually was appalling. And it was done, a lot of it was done by us. But that's what war does. And what I'm trying to make is I don't want to see war. I hate it. I think what you're doing is going, and other organisations like you, is going to increase a lot of animosity. And if any, we could have, I hope not civil war, but we could have a lot of civil problems with people on one side and the other. And it seems a lot of people don't know the history. They don't understand what war does. It's vile, it's horrible, it's disgusting. Soldiers don't just kill each other, unfortunately, because people get in the way. And when you have to stop, Hamas went in and slaughtered. Not only did they slaughter those people, they filmed it and laughed at it. And then suddenly there's this huge anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish protests every week. And
Before even Israel had
and
actually acted
you're
as well.
not stupid. I just wonder why you support them.
I would like to say, first of all, we are not anti-Jewish. We are not anti-Semitic.
But why is that the only thing why don't you do any of the other protests? Syria, Yemen, Saudi Arabia. Why don't you do any of it?
If you'd let me finish, I would explain.
Well, I'll just make a point. Let me make the point.
Could you be quiet now?
Thank you.
Please.
Look, this is something that we can control. If we tried to target every genocide in the world, we would get nowhere because there are too many.
So just the Jewish one then, the one that's concerned with the Jews?
No, what we are seeing right now is the Israeli government killing Palestinian civilians, targeting refugee camps, areas they have designated as safe.
But that's
they
not
are
true.
bombing.
It's not true.
It is true.
I'm
You
sorry,
can see it with your
it's
own
not
eyes.
true. Unfortunately, collateral damage happens when you're fighting. But these
Targeting children is not collateral damage. How dare you refer to children as collateral damage?
Don't you say how dare me. I am saying something from a sensible, serious point of view, and I am not going to have people like you go on about you're a genocide enabler. You hate,
How dare you say Israel target children?
They do not target children.
How dare you say that?
War targets everyone.
Why would they do that? That would be so stupid of them, wouldn't it? Why don't you call for Hamas to release the hostages, which would start a ceasefire immediately? Why do you never call for that?
I can't control what Hamas do.
but
Our government is
you
arming
can't
Hamas.
control what Israel do.
I condemn the taking of hostages on any side.
So call for their release. Have a sign with release the hostages.
If Netanyahu cared about the hostages, he would not be indiscriminately carping bombing Gaza.
You think he doesn't care about the hostages?
He has no idea where the hostages are being kept. He has no idea, and he's
doesn't mean he doesn't
indiscriminately
care about
bombing
hostages.
civilians.
They
Netanyahu has
do.
time and time again called his dedication to total victory. He doesn't even mention the hostages.
Of course he cares about the hostages. If he gets them out, he might possibly get voted in again, which is looking very unlikely.
Okay. What do you think about the latest peace proposals? Do you think they're a good idea?
I hope there's peace. I really do.
What do you think about the latest proposals and the way Israel has suggested to Hamas, who said they're considering them, on the release of some hostages, first of all, 6-week ceasefire, then a release of Palestinian prisoners? Because I'm getting sick and tired. I'm be very honest with you. People like you shouting out genocide every minute. You've got no idea what it's like. You've never been in a war situation, thank goodness, nor have I. But I have known people who have been, and I do know a little bit more about it than you. When you're in a war situation, unfortunately, innocent people, I'm not condoning this in any way, shape or form, but unfortunately, innocent people do sometimes get injured and killed. But what I'm saying to you is, if it was genocide, this would have finished ages ago. They carpet bombed the whole of Gaza, everybody be dead, and that will be it. And they wouldn't do it. And why you keep saying, oh, but they are doing it, they're targeting children. They're actually not. What they're doing is trying to get into areas where Hamas are using children and innocent people as shields, trying to dare them. And as soon as they do that, then Hamas start running to somewhere else.
You're not helping the people of Gaza. They don't want Hamas, do they? They want to be free. You're only helping Hamas to subjugate and be an authoritarian government over people who should be free and want to be free and democratic, have a democratic.
And the more
elected
that
leader.
you demonstrate,
you're helping the fascists.
The more that
you're helping the Nazis.
All right, just a minute. The more you demonstrate, the more they get, because they see it all on social media. They will get the idea that they're really destroying the kind of fabric of Western society. Let's get rid of democracy. It's all they're thinking they're doing great, so they're going to go out there and try and cause more trouble. So in a way, you could be held responsible for something.
No, you are. You're helping Hamas. You're helping the people stay subjugated.
This isn't about Hamas. This is about innocent.
No, but you're helping them.
This is about innocent
helping them with
civilians
what
in
you're
Gaza who are being killed by Israel, and our government is arming them. Our government
and
is
your
allowing
words
this
are helping
to happen.
Hamas. They're loving what you're saying.
My words are not helping.
Yeah,
Of course
Hamas.
they are. You want a ceasefire. You want to help them rearm and do another October the 7th.
So do you not support a ceasefire?
Not unless the hostages are released. Then I do.
Hostages on both sides?
There aren't any hostages on both sides.
There are prisoners
And you
on the
accuse
other
me of
side.
not having done my research and not
Well,
knowing
yeah,
the history.
I haven't, but yeah.
There are
obviously.
prisoners, and some of those prisoners may be considered hostages. I don't
Children.
know.
Children
And
who were arrested on the
Children
streets
who are
at 12
17
years
and
old.
stabbed soldiers. Are they all right? They
Children
just
arrested
kidnapped,
for
are they?
just being on the streets.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, just arrested for being on the street.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
during the Second World War, I hate to go back to that, German people, just because they were German, were locked up to begin with. And that's
Well,
sometimes
internment,
what happens.
internment,
Yeah.
We're not talking
war.
about the Second World War. We're talking about a genocide that is happening right now. How
There
can you
are
look at
some
these pictures of
genocides
babies
happening
with their
right now.
heads
That doesn't
blown
mean a
off by
genocide. When
Israeli
someone
bombs and not care
is
and
killed,
not
it's
want
not a
that to stop?
genocide. It's not a genocide
I've
when
already
someone's
said,
killed.
just a minute, I've already said I find the whole thing appalling and disgusting. I hate war.
And yet you refuse to call it a genocide.
It is not a genocide.
It is a genocide.
And what I'm
Just 'cause it's
trying
bad doesn't
just
mean
a
it's a
minute,
genocide,
What
is
I'm
it?
trying to get through is the fact that your demonstrations are giving succor to these complete and utter bastards in Hamas who don't care at all. Certainly don't care about women, by the way. Women you keep right away. It's a very misogynistic organisation, religion, whatever you want to call it. But you are giving them succor to carry on doing it.
This
And I know
isn't
you
about
don't
Hamas.
agree.
This is
Of
not.
course it's about
No,
Hamas.
I'm sorry. This is not about Hamas. This is about I don't want innocent civilians in Palestine
How
to
can it
die.
not be
I don't
Hamas
want
when Hamas
children
started
to
it?
die.
On
But
October
nobody
7th.
does. Who do you think wants that? Do you think we
Hamas
want
want
it?
that. Hamas
Our
want that.
government is enabling the Israeli government to kill
It
children.
wouldn't matter if we stopped all arms exports with few nuts. It wouldn't change anything in
Do
Israel.
you think we should be arming Saudi? You mentioned that before. Saudi have.
I'm not here to talk about Saudi. I'm
Well,
here
there
to
we
talk
go.
You don't
about
like
Israel.
because you don't like to talk about things
No,
that
but
challenge
because
your
I,
view.
I don't know enough about Saudi
Yeah.
to make a call on that. And
Well,
I
maybe
can
you
stand
should.
there and
Why
say
not?
that.
It's your country supplying it.
I'm
The
talking
weapons.
about what I can see right now.
But
Well,
you
why
can't-
don't
our
you look
government
into
is
it? Why are you like an ostrich with your head in the sand?
Ash.
Let me finish. Our government is enabling a genocide. I don't think it's unreasonable
Our
to
government
not want
is
bombs
not
made in the UK to be dropped
enabling
on Palestinian
a
children. I
genocide.
don't think that's
It's
unreasonable.
just gibberish that you're saying it's a genocide. Every war is a genocide, according to you. Then was it?
No.
Did we commit genocide in Iraq?
I don't know enough about it.
Well, you don't see any. What about Afghanistan? Did America and Britain, did we commit genocide there? Do you not know anything about that?
I know we committed atrocious war crimes.
But not genocide.
But we didn't
It may be
commit
genocide. I
atrocious
don't-
You didn't,
war.
you didn't look into that.
I don't
You
know
only-
enough
why do
about
you
it
only
to
look
say.
into
We
the
are
Israeli
running out of
Israel?
time. Be quiet.
Palestinian
Well, I think we know the
children,
reason.
Palestinian children
Can
have
I
been
ask you
killed
one last
while we are
question?
having
know-
these-
we know why it's
last
all right.
question. Ignore him. One last question.
Finished anyway.
Are you prepared to admit that Hamas are a terrorist organisation?
I'm not here to talk about Hamas. I'm here to talk about Israel killing children
But
and
you
our
can answer
government
that.
arming them and
You can
enabling
answer
them
that,
to
though, can't
happen.
you? As a person.
I don't
Listen,
need to answer
stop
that.
it.
It's not
You
a
do
religious
need-
question
You don't
to
want
answer.
to answer it, do
You
you?
do
I don't
need
need
to
to
answer
answer
it.
it.
And you don't want to.
You do need to answer it. You've already said Israeli army are. You, in your view, terrorists or just committing genocide or what?
Committing
But-
genocide, killing
but-
children.
Oh, for God's sake!
That's not what definition of genocide. You usually do a bit of research on
Listen,
lots of
I
things.
know
Leave
what
that.
genocide is. They are
No, you don't.
systematically.
You don't.
They
They're
have
not.
they are blocked
They're not.
Gaza. They are not allowing people
You're
to evacuate.
talk-
They are not
are
allowing
not.
sick people to evacuate.
Hamas
They
are
are
not
not
allowing-
They're
allowing
taking
aid
sick
in.
people to Israeli hospitals. They evacuated Shifa Hospital, took the
We've
very
come-
sick ones to Israeli
we've-
hospitals.
They
We don't know what
sieged
you're on
Shifa
about.
Hospital.
We
You need
Mass
to go-
graves were found
We
with
should
children.